Hello everyone, welcome to another test ride on my channel. My name is Marshall3498 and today I am test riding a 2020 Tiger 900 Rally. Not the Rally Pro, but the regular Rally. And first impression is it's an adventure bike, that's for sure. By the riding position, super comfortable, back straight up and down. The peg position is really good once you get your feet up on the pegs. Knee is almost in a 90-degree state. Really comfortable riding position. I've got the windshield in the uppermost position. It is adjustable. You grab this little bar and slide it up and down. It has, I think, 3 settings. Of course, you have the massive 6.5-inch TFT display. It's 51 degrees right now, so it's not the greatest ride weather, but it's pretty decent. I actually test rode this bike from Frontline Eurosports in Virginia, in Salem, Virginia. Super nice folks. Let me take the bike out for a demo test ride and just see what the bike's all about and get a feel for it. And that brings me to brakes. Wow, my FJR's got good brakes, but that about slid me forward in the seat. That's nuts. But yeah, the one, I don't know if you can tell by the tank, but it's that kind of khaki flat British racing green. Sorry, I need to turn the heated grips down on high. They are really hot even at 51 degrees, so that's good. Mirror position seems like it's pretty good. See a little bit of bend in my elbows, but they don't really vibrate when the bike revs up, hardly at all. Some of this test ride might not be my best because I'm in an area that I'm not familiar with, so this might get chopped down, edit cuts a little bit, but clutch pull is extremely light. Motor's really it's in road mode right now. It does have road mode, off-road, rain, sport, and I think that's it. The Rally Pro, you get an off-road Pro Rally mode and get some other stuff, but this still has adjustable suspension, manually adjustable front and rear, bike weights. Some of these specs I might not be 100% on, but bike weighs wet weight is right at 450 pounds, so not extremely light, but boy does this thing feel very flickable and removable side to side, even with a 21-inch front wheel. It has Brembo brakes, front and rear, ABS of course, traction control of course. This bike has a 6-axis IMU with lean sensitive traction control and lean sensitive brake control, so pretty much all the modern day electronic stuff are thrown at it and then some. 311 here. I'm trying to make sure I go on the right route this guy told me to go on. We'll just see. Hope that wasn't 311. He said it's about 10 or 15 minutes, so, and that sign said straight, so said it was at a red light, so we'll see. But bike feels, it's really comfortable. It's your typical that I've rode. I've rode a BMW 1200 GS, a 1200 GS Adventure, and it's basically the same riding position. If you rode a Venture bike, you'll be used to this. Your pegs are 90 degrees instead of your legs being bent behind you. It's a little bit more forward than my FJR, what I'm used to, but it makes it that much more comfortable that way, and it makes it more comfortable for standing up, because that's what this bike is designed to do, is ride off-road and off-road as well. Yeah, but those brakes, yeah, it does have a little bit of front-end dive, but I'm probably hitting the brakes not quite as hard as I should, because I'm just not used to it, and I'm used to having to stop my 645-pound FJR. Gearbox super slick. Like, you can tell that the shifter moves, but there's not even a notch at all. There's 45 miles an hour, 5th gear. It's a little hard to read the tack on the display, but of course there are several different modes where you can put that top number, and read the actual numbers, the RPMs, and there's all kind of stuff, but I won't get into that. I'm just riding the bike, leave it road mode. We're not turning the ABS off or nothing crazy. We're just gonna get out and stretch the bike's legs and enjoy it. But the bike, the motor Triumph changed from the old 800 platform. They changed to what Triumph calls a T-plane crank firing order, which is similar to a 270 degree firing order, but it's different. It's a bunch of stuff that I frankly don't understand, but motor feels good. No vibration hardly at all. We're at 4,000 RPMs, and it's a little bit buzzy through the foot pegs and the bars, but you know, it's a 3-cylinder, it's not a 4-cylinder, so it's not gonna be super smooth, but it's definitely pretty smooth, to say the least. And it does have a good bark kind of growl to it, even with a stock muffler, which this one has. I'm not even sure. Says the bike's been averaging, of course, that depends on who wrote it. On the screen it says it's been averaging 49 even miles a gallon, which is pretty good. You know, bike makes 95 horsepower and 63 foot-pounds of torque, I believe. So that kind of weight of the bike, that's pretty average. My FC6 that I had, of course, it was a 604 cylinder. Got about like this, low to mid 50s, which that's probably about what this bike left turn missing. Okay, sorry. Like I said, I'm going on a place I don't really know. I'm going over 81 now. That's what the guy said. Look for 311 and turn right. And supposedly it goes up and down some mountain. So that'd be a good test of the bike. Get away from all this traffic. Let's see. 311, Newark Valley. Don't believe that's it. I don't know. Don't really know, guys. It looks like a business park, not going up and down a mountain road. I'm not really even sure what the speed limit is on this road, to be honest. I'm too focused on riding a brand new bike that I was excited to ride, but I'm definitely not going to get myself hurt, so don't expect to see any wheeling in this video or anything like that, because it's not going to happen. It's not 311, it's right here. Okay, cool. We made it to that unscathed without getting lost, so that's good. Yeah, bike feels really good. Downshifts are crisp, and there's the brakes again. And the heated grips, even on medium, are pretty warm. Feels pretty good. Go here and see what the bike's like. Oh yeah, she pulls good. You know, that's just 5.5, almost 6 grand. Very linear, controllable power. Oh Lord, 55-mile-an-hour road on a road that I'm not familiar with. Oh well, we'll just take it easy. If I get backed up, traffic a little bit behind me, no big deal. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the bike. You know, I'm interested. I've rode a Tenere 700 that I was unable to film, so I'm interested in the middleweight adventure bike category. So this is one that was another one on my list, even though it is more money that I'd like to spend. Well, these are new for 2020, so in a couple years, you know, this bike will be 12, 13. It'll be more approachable. It'll be just a little bit more than what a Tenere 700, with no options, of course, or accessories. Those are 10,000 as of right now. I'm filming this. The windshield is doing a good job, but I do feel lots of wind blasts on the outside of my shoulders. But I'm used to my FJR, and it's a little bit of a windy day, so windshield's not terrible, but I do feel a lot hitting like the insides of my shoulders or my collarbone. There's very little on my helmet though that I can tell with the windshield all the way up, so not too bad for you know, wind protection for a stock bike. Windshields are like seats. Everybody likes certain things, and that's just what they like, you know. But I'm used to my FJR with the touring windshield. With it all the way up, I feel almost nothing on me. You know, bike comes stock with plastic hand guards that are doing a pretty good job of keeping air off my hands, and that's a lot of what I feel right now. Actually, is air coming around the sides of the windshield and up over the hand guards and onto my forearms, but I feel like nothing on the bottom of my legs unless I kind of V my legs out, so that's pretty good there. But you know, this kind of bike would be good in the summertime if you ride adventure riding, when you're on roads like this to get to the trail. So I don't know if I'd change the wind protection. I'd have to ride it more and see, but for stock configuration, it doesn't seem too bad. On the interstate, it would probably suffer a little bit, but that's just according to what you like and what you don't like, you know. But yeah, the display though is crystal clear. I'm wearing sunglasses with my tinted visor, where I wear kind of a lighted tinted visor. It's the Shoei RF1200 helmet that I'm wearing, and it has one of those auto darkening tinting ones. So even with that on and sunglasses, it's still very crisp, very clear. Like I said, the tech is a little weird to get used to, but now that I see the bars on each side here, I can tell what it's doing. So yeah, pretty good. Of course, you can configure it several different ways. But this bike does have cruise control on the Rally as stock. I'm not going to play with it right now because I'm riding on a road I don't know, but the buttons is right here. You have some high beam buttons here, toggle thing for the menu to go through. There's a home button over here, another shortcut button, hazards here. But yeah, so far so good. This bike, you know, since this is a Rally, this is not the Rally Pro. It's about 15 and a half, give or take. Just depending on what kind of deal you find. The Rally Pro is another $1,200 more. It comes with a few other things like center stand as stock, lower crash bars, a skid plate, and a heated seat. This one does not have the heated seat, just the regular seat. But whatever. That wouldn't be necessarily a deal breaker, because if you're buying the Rally Pro, then if you're going to run your own kind of bars you want to put on it, for the money you might do a little better if you can live without the heated seat. But it is still fully adjustable suspension, so you still got all that. You still got 21 at front grill with cross spokes, wheels on them. Get lots of stuff as stock, lots of gadgets and doodads, and just a really nice, just well put together middleweight bike that I'm really impressed with. You know, this road that I can on has some oscillations in it and some uneven pavement, and because this is a more off-road kind of suspension, it doesn't feel pillowy soft, but it soaks up the bumps without feeling floaty, if that makes any sense. Bike has really good steering feel, just a very good overall package. And I'm sure, like on a gravel road, hard pack gravel, this suspension setting, of course you can change it, but seems like it would do pretty well from what I can tell. And I'm no off-road rider, that's for sure, but I'd like to get into that, and that's where this bike would kind of get me to. So we'll see. You know, I'm like I said, I'm impressed. Can't find any negatives yet. Like I said, the only thing I kind of find negative is about the wind blast, and that may just be me being picky, and the fact that it's a little windy day compared to normal. But bike feels really planted. It's very flickable. Doesn't feel like it has a 21 front inch wheel. Of course, the Tenere 700 that I rode had a 21 front wheel also, and that bike didn't really feel like that either. So they've done a good job. Triumph has with the new motor. Of course, I don't have anything to compare it to. I never rode the 800 Rally Pro, but it's very thin. We'll get to that here in a second. Seat height. I am 5 foot 10 inches tall with a 32 inseam, and I weigh 175 pounds. And the inseam for me in the bike, it does have adjustable seat, and it's adjustable front and rear, so you can have it pitch up or down, or have it higher in the back, higher in the front, whatever you want. I currently have it just on low on both parts. They did that for me at the dealer, and I can almost flat foot the bike if I really try to straighten my legs out and really reach the ground. I can flat foot it, which is good. A lot of these venture bikes, they suffer from being tall and having such an off-road type suspension that some shorter people like myself struggle to touch, at least with the balls of their feet. And just the kind of rider I am, even though I'm not a noob, I would like to at least touch with you know, at least the balls of my feet, and I can do that and a little bit more, so that's good. Because you know, off-road riding, you're not gonna, you know, there's going to be some times that the bike's going to be, you're going to be on uneven ground, and you're going to have to touch when the bike gets a little slippery. You have some high beam buttons here, toggle thing for the menu to go through. There's a home button over here, another shortcut button, hazards here. But yeah, so far so good. This bike, you know, since this is a Rally, this is not the Rally Pro. It's about 15 and a half, give or take. Just depending on what kind of deal you find. The Rally Pro is another $1,200 more. It comes with a few other things like center stand as stock, lower crash bars, a skid plate, and a heated seat. This one does not have the heated seat, just the regular seat. But whatever. That wouldn't be necessarily a deal breaker, because if you're buying the Rally Pro, then if you're going to run your own kind of bars you want to put on it, for the money you might do a little better if you can live without the heated seat. But it is still fully adjustable suspension, so you still got all that. You still got 21 at front grill with cross spokes, wheels on them. Get lots of stuff as stock, lots of gadgets and doodads, and just a really nice, just well put together middleweight bike that I'm really impressed with. You know, this road that I can on has some oscillations in it and some uneven pavement, and because this is a more off-road kind of suspension, it feels doesn't feel pillowy soft, but it soaks up the bumps without feeling floaty, if that makes any sense. Bike has really good steering feel, just a very good overall package. And I'm sure, like on a gravel road, hard pack gravel, this suspension setting, of course you can change it, but seems like it would do pretty well from what I can tell. And I'm no off-road rider, that's for sure, but I'd like to get into that, and that's where this bike would kind of get me to. So we'll see. You know, I'm like I said, I'm impressed. Can't find any negatives yet. Like I said, the only thing I kind of find negative is about the wind blast, and that may just be me being picky, and the fact that it's a little windy day compared to normal. But bike feels really planted. It's very flickable. Doesn't feel like it has a 21-inch front-inch wheel. Of course, the Tenere 700 that I rode had a 21-inch front wheel also, and that bike didn't really feel like that either. So they've done a good job. Triumph has with the new motor. Of course, I don't have anything to compare it to. I never rode the 800 Rally Pro, but it's very thin. We'll get to that here in a second. Seat height. I am 5 foot 10 inches tall with a 32 inseam, and I weigh 175 pounds. And the inseam for me in the bike, it does have adjustable seat, and it's adjustable front and rear, so you can have it pitch up or down, or have it higher in the back, higher in the front, whatever you want. I currently have it just on low on both parts. They did that for me at the dealer, and I can almost flat foot the bike if I really try to straighten my legs out and really reach the ground. I can flat foot it, which is good. A lot of these venture bikes, they suffer from being tall and having such an off-road type suspension that some shorter people like myself struggle to touch, at least with the balls of their feet. And just the kind of rider I am, even though I'm not a noob, I would like to at least touch with you know, at least the balls of my feet, and I can do that and a little bit more, so that's good. Because you know, off-road riding, you're not gonna, you know, there's gonna be some times that the bike's gonna be you're gonna be on uneven ground, and you're gonna have to touch when the bike gets a little slippery, or just the conditions get a little bit bad. So those times you might have to you know, you might have to be able to touch, and if you can't touch at all, even if, you know, you need to at least be able to get 1 foot down decently, and that would probably work pretty good. Of course, you can adjust to that and get used to it. Once you spend some time on the bike and you own it, you could always, you know, lower the preload a little bit, like on this one, if you wanted to, and that might help a little bit, but it might suffer because it might not be suck up the bumps as well. It just, whatever type of riding you're into, you can get it tailored to you. I don't feel like really at my height, even if I was to get, say, like an aftermarket lowered seat, don't feel like it would really help a whole lot. You know, for my take, I think somebody 5'7" and up would have no problem riding this bike. If you're maybe 5'5" or so, you might struggle, but you can always stop with 1 foot down if you're not a new rider. This bike is super balanced, super planted, lower center of gravity. It does not feel like it weighs 450 pounds to me, so that's good. But you know, other than, like I said, the wind protection being a little so-so, I've not found any faults with it at all yet. And like I said, you know, that's something that's changeable. You can always fix that later on. Just, you know, you tailor the bike to however you want. Really not. This guy, salesman, told me he was going up down some mountain, and yeah, it's pretty true. It's a pretty steep road that I'm not used to, but that's okay, no big deal. I'm just trying to take it easy because, you know, pavement's not super warm. Don't really even know how many miles are on this because I don't want to play the screen. Oh, I thought that was traffic backed up, sorry. But you know, bike feels really good. I'm really impressed. You know, I'm still trying to search for that perfect adventure bike to not only suit my needs but budget as well. Oh, this one blows the budget out of the water, but it is definitely worth if you have a dealer in your area that will let you test ride this. I suggest doing that because I'm really impressed. So we'll just see. Maybe I'll end up putting the website to the dealer in the description below at the bottom. If you want to go check these guys out, like I said, they're in Salem, Virginia. They're called Frontline Eurosports, and just super nice guys. Salesman I talked to, really helpful. Said he'd let have me bike for, you know, 30 minutes to an hour. And if it goes a little bit longer, no big deal. So I'm sure as long as you maybe on that particular dealer anyway, don't say gone more than an hour. They're not really going to fuss too much. Looking for a place to turn around so I can go back up. It's a pretty good test so far. This looks good here to me. Make sure the car behind me sees me. There's a post office to do a little walk around here. Maybe. We'll give y'all a little walk around and let y'all know what you think here. Put the bike in neutral. Oh, little gravel in the parking lot. Oh. Let's see. Neutral, not really done that yet. Oh, it's really slick to find. And this kickstand is crazy. When I left the showroom, it does have quite a hefty spring to it to get up on it. But give y'all a little bit of walk around. Like I said, it's the green color. 21-inch front wheels. I believe it's a 17-inch rear. Don't quote me if I'm wrong on some of that. But 900 GT Rally, man. What a bike. But we'll get back on and get going down the road a little bit. It's just a little bit hard for me at my height to get my foot over, but not too bad. That kickstand is crazy, like I said. But see, the windshield, you can do this and that, little notches. Probably do it going down the road once you're used to it with your left hand. Fairly easy, or maybe at a stoplight if you get to a slower section, change it. But like I said, it's a little chilly, so I'm used to a little bit better wind protection than this, so I'm just gonna leave it up. But clutch is a cable clutch, but it pulls about midways out, at least the way this one's set. I think the Spike does actually have a slipper clutch as well, and of course it's a 6-speed and it is chain driven. I forgot to mention that, sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool the way the thing changes from red to, or from yellow to red when it revs up. It's kind of neat. And you know, this TFT stuff is if you configure it. Of course, I don't have that done, but if you configure it with the Triumph MyRide app, it has a Google Map based in it. And make sure I'm still recording. Yeah, but it does have Google Maps based in it, so you can configure it, and it'll show you on the screen here. It'll give you a basic GPS on the screen as well, but it just really shows you the next turn and how far it is. But you know, that's really all you need. You don't always need to see the whole map on where you're going. That's good enough, especially if you're just going around town or someplace fairly close. If you need a GPS, there's a 12-volt cigarette lighter underneath there. You can just mount your GPS there or whatever, and go on about your business. So win-win there. So you have some options on what you can do and what you can't do. Hopefully this audio is pretty good, because like I said, it is pretty windy today, so we'll just have to see. But so what do y'all think about the Triumph Rally now that I got to do a walk around? I was going to do one at the dealer, but I wasn't real sure on the route, so I did one down there. Good gentleman told me about the post office to look for and stuff. So this goes up and down a good mountain road, and like I said, I'm really impressed with the ride. This bike, even my FJR in its standard setting, my FJR in the standard setting is about how this rides. You feel a little bit through the bars and stuff as far as like road imperfections, but it is not harsh by any means. It's definitely on the soft side for sure, like I said, without being floaty. Throttle response is really crisp. There's no snatch. Of course, I do have it road mode, which is a little more docile, but like I said, I'm not really going to put it in sport. I'm not familiar with the way the bike reacts and stuff to everything. I haven't just ridden it, and it not being mine, so the only really button I pushed is to turn the heated grips on. So other than that, it is weird to me. Of course, it may be adjustable, but the clutch lever is adjustable, but however the front brake lever on the bars is not adjustable, which I find kind of strange. It might be adjustable and I just don't see it. But yeah, I'm really impressed. This is a bike that's definitely, it's so, even with that 21-inch front wheel, it's so nimble and so flickable that compared to my FJR, which is nimble and flickable, it's like double that. So it's like trying to ride basically a 450-pound naked bike is how flickable it feels, even without having, you know, sport bike rubber or anything. I do think that if you was to put a 50/50 tire on this, say like a Mitas E07 or maybe the Dunlop Trail Max, it would still be really have really good road manners as far as steering feel and as far as turning goes. And you know, that's a really hard thing to do with the Venture bikes. Of course, this bike had a total redesign done in 2020. This is the first year of that redesign, and I'm sure that's really hard to get right. Venture bike stuff's all about a compromise of, you know, is it good off-road, and this bike even won the MCN in overseas bike of the year, so that's saying something. A lot of people on motorcycle.com, on YouTube, several of them, they did a middleweight adventure shootout, and they even said, several of them, that 3 out of 5 I think said this is the best all-arounder as far as good on-road, good off-road, and just, you know, because some bikes do really well on-road and not so good on-road, and that's the Venture bike thing. You just got to find out what works for you, what your riding style is, how you intend to ride it, how to ride it, and where, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, the front brake is crazy crisp and strong. But I'm sure you would get used to that. I'm only using 2 fingers to brake with this, and probably really should only be using 1, but that's the habit that I have. And you could always adjust that out a little bit, I'm sure, make it a little more linear, maybe change pads if you want it to be not so grabby. But you know, they're 320 mil front disc with 4 piston calipers per disc on dual front disc, so it definitely has some stopping power, that's for sure. But guys, hopefully this has been a good first ride video for you. I've done my best to try to remember all the stats that I looked up and read about and did my research on. And you know, I'm just an everyday guy. I'm not a moto journalist, so if I say something wrong or totally off in the video, please don't hate me in the comments. I'm doing my best here to give y'all a decent review, and have a good ride and stay safe. So on that, guys, if you're not already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe for more as I do upload videos usually once a week for the most part on Wednesdays or Thursdays. So on that, guys, ride safe, have fun, we'll see you on the next one. See ya.